Welcome back to WZ Tales. In today's story, we explore what happens when one partner thinks loyalty only starts after the ring, and then has to live with that rule when it turns on them. As you listen, notice the moment where you would have walked away. My girlfriend said, "I don't know loyalty before a ring." I replied, "Loyalty comes before rings." Then I packed a bag, sold the ring, built a quiet new life, and I just watched as her dream vineyard wedding exploded when her spark guy ran off with her maid of honor in front of everyone. My name is Mark, and for 3 years I thought I was building a life with my girlfriend, Sophia. We moved in together after a year, split rent and bills 50-50. Sundays were for meal prep. Her favorite tea was always in the cabinet. When she had the flu last winter, I took time off work to stay home with her. It felt like real life, not a trial run. There was something she did not know. For 8 months, I had been saving for a ring. Not just any ring. I found a jeweler who does custom work and designed one for her. A solitaire diamond with 2 small sapphires on the band, because 2 years earlier she had mentioned that sapphires were her birthstone and that she loved them. The deposit alone was $2 grand. I was planning to propose on our anniversary trip next month. In my head, we were already on that path. She would talk about house hunting one day, joke about what our kids might look like, but there was another side to her. She talked a lot about keeping your options open, leverage in relationships, and not getting trapped. At the time, I thought it was just her business development brain leaking into normal talk. She is in sales and partnerships. Strategy is kind of her thing. I should have listened more closely to the philosophy behind those words. Last Tuesday, I got home early from work. Her tablet was on the coffee table, screen still on. I picked it up to put it on charge. The messages were right there. The contact name said Liam Work. The preview showed, "Can't stop thinking about last night." I opened it. Months of messages. Flirting, explicit comments, plans to meet, hotel references. One message said, "Don't tell the roommate." The roommate was me. That word hit harder than any of the pictures. I sat there for about an hour just scrolling. My hands were shaking, but I felt oddly calm, like my brain had stepped out of my body and was just watching the ruins. When Sophia came home, I was still on the couch, the tablet in my hands. "We need to talk," I said. She saw the screen. I watched her face shift, not into panic, not even into guilt. It was more like she was adjusting to a new set of numbers on a spreadsheet. "Okay," she said slowly. "What do you want to know? Are you sleeping with him?" "Yes." Just like that, no apology, no tears. She sat down across from me like we were starting a meeting. "For how long?" I asked. "About 4 months. 4 months, while I was saving for a ring, while I was planning to ask her to spend her life with me. "Why?" I asked. This is the part that keeps replaying in my head. She looked at me like I had asked a silly question. "Mark, we are dating, not married," she said. "I do not owe you exclusivity until there is a ring on my finger." That is just the reality of modern relationships. If you have ever wondered what it looks like when someone genuinely believes loyalty is a product, this is it. I must have looked confused because she kept going. "Look, I care about you," she said. "You are stable. You are reliable. You make good money. You keep the lights on and the fridge full. But Liam is exciting. He is ambitious like me. He gets it. And I am not doing anything wrong here. We are not married. I have not made any vows. Until there is a legal contract, we are both free agents. It is only logical." "Logical," I repeated. "Yes, you provide comfort and maintenance. He provides spark and opportunity. I need both right now. When I am ready to commit, I will commit. But that is a big decision. I am not there yet." She said it calmly, like she had rehearsed it. Like this was her internal model of relationships finally spoken out loud. I stood up and walked to our bedroom. I started pulling clothes from drawers and tossing them into a duffel bag. "What are you doing?" she asked, following me. "Packing," I said. "Mark, don't be dramatic. This is just how adult relationships work. We can talk about adjusting the parameters." "Parameters," I repeated. "Yes. If you need more reassurance, we can discuss what that looks like, but walking out isn't going to solve anything. Life is not a fairy tale. People have needs. multiple needs. I went to the closet, moved some boxes, and pulled out my lockbox. Inside was the ring box. I held it for a second. "What's that?" she asked. "Nothing that matters now," I said, and slipped it into my jacket pocket. "Mark, you are overreacting," she said. "I am being honest with you. Is that not what you wanted? Honesty. I am not lying like other people do. I am telling you the truth about how I see things." I zipped my bag and turned to her. "You are right about one thing," I said. "You have been very honest. You believe loyalty only exists after a ring. I believe loyalty is what makes a ring mean anything at all. There is no middle ground between those two things, so there is nothing left to talk about." "So you are just leaving, that is it. That is it. This is insane. Where are you even going to go?" "A hotel tonight. I will figure out the rest." I walked past her toward the door. She grabbed my arm. "Mark, come on. We can process this. We can work through it. I just need you to be more flexible in your thinking." I gently pulled my arm away. "Sophia, you told me exactly who you are," I said. "I finally believe you." I left. From the hotel parking lot, I blocked her number. I blocked her on social media. I checked into a cheap room and sat on the bed, staring at the wall. I should have felt rage or heartbreak, something huge. Instead, I felt clear. She had been telling me who she was for years. I just did not connect the dots until she drew the line in front of me. The ring stayed in my jacket pocket that night. I decided I would sell it the next week and use the money for a deposit on my own place. Part of me wondered if I was crazy. She seemed so sure that loyalty was something you owed after a ring, not before. I walked away from 3 years because I could not live inside that rule. This is where a lot of people would try to negotiate their values. Short-term comfort, long-term confusion. 3 weeks passed. I found a small furnished studio. It was tiny, but it was mine. I started running in the mornings. I signed up for a woodworking class at the community center. I tried to build something that felt like a life. Stacy, a mutual friend, texted me. She said Sophia was officially dating Liam now. She also hinted that maybe I had pushed Sophia into his arms by being too rigid in my expectations. Later, I accidentally saw Sophia's Instagram. I had forgotten to block that account. There was a photo of her and Liam. The caption said, "Stop settling for comfort, choose spark." I did not feel jealous. I felt relieved. She had just posted her philosophy where everyone could see it. 8 months went by. Life got better. The studio started to feel like home. I kept up with woodworking, added rock climbing on weekends. Work was going well. I got a promotion in July. The emptiness turned into something else. Not joy, but a kind of quiet that did not hurt. Then my buddy David texted me a screenshot. "Bro, I know you said you didn't want updates," he wrote, "but you should probably see this." It was Sophia's Instagram again. A photo of her hand on Liam's chest showing off a large diamond ring, at least 2 carats. The caption read, "He didn't make me wait for a maybe someday. He saw my worth and put a ring on it. When a man knows, he knows." David called me. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. And I was. "That caption is basically calling you out," he said. "She is rewriting history, making it sound like you were stringing her along." In her version, I was the guy who would not commit, the one who wanted to keep things vague. Liam was the decisive man who saw her worth and locked it in. "She got exactly what she said she needed," I told David. "A ring, a contract, the thing she believes switches loyalty on. And you are not mad." "I am not anything," I said. "I am just curious how that experiment ends. If your peace depends on someone else failing, that is not peace. But you can still notice patterns and wonder." I heard through Stacy that they were planning a big wedding, vineyard venue, destination vibe, designer dress, all very power couple. Sophia told people I could not handle her ambition, that Liam matched her energy, that they did not believe in outdated relationship scripts. Apparently, expecting loyalty before marriage is an outdated script. Meanwhile, I sold the ring I had bought for her. I got about 60% of what I had paid. It stung, but it was just money now. I used it to buy real furniture, a decent bed frame, a dresser that did not stick. A couch that did not smell like someone else's life. It felt symbolic. I had stopped saving for a fantasy and started furnishing the life I was actually living. About 3 weeks before their wedding, I ran into Elise, a former coworker of Sophia's. We grabbed coffee, and she started telling me about the wedding planning. Liam, she said, had been almost completely absent. He was traveling nonstop for work. Dubai, Singapore, back-to-back trips. Sophia was melting down regularly. Her maid of honor, Chloe, had basically taken over the planning. Dress fittings, vendor calls, seating charts, all of it. Chloe has been amazing, Elise said. I don't know what Sophia would do without her. She has been the real rock. I just nodded. The pattern was familiar. When the Spark guy was too busy being Spark somewhere else, Sophia needed a comfort person, a maintenance person. It used to be me. Now it was Chloe. The wedding was scheduled for last Saturday. Friday night, social media was full of rehearsal dinner posts, champagne, everyone dressed up. Saturday morning, it went quiet. Saturday afternoon, I got a call from a number I did not recognize. "Mark, it's Ben," the caller said. "Sophia's brother's friend. We've met a couple times." "Yeah," I said. "What's up?" "Look, I know it's weird I'm calling, but the wedding didn't happen," he said. "I thought you should know." "What do you mean it didn't happen?" I asked. "Liam didn't show up," he said. "He sent a text to the whole wedding party. Said he couldn't marry Sophia because he realized Chloe had been more loyal to him than the bride ever was." I sat down. "Chloe," I said, "the maid of honor." "Yeah," Ben said. "Apparently they have been seeing each other for months. They are in Costa Rica right now, posted about it this morning." "Jesus," I said quietly. "Yeah, Sophia's destroyed," he went on. "Guests sent home. Whole thing is a disaster. She's been bringing you up a lot, so I figured you should know." After we hung up, I sat alone in my apartment. Liam had used Sophia's exact philosophy against her. By her rules, loyalty is triggered by contracts. Until then, everyone is a free agent maximizing their value. He gave her a ring, but they were not married yet. No vows. No legal contract. No binding agreement she always talked about. By her logic, he and Chloe were still free agents. It was like watching someone build a house on sand and insist sand was better than concrete. Then crying when the tide came in. 3 days later, my phone rang again. Another unknown number. I answered. "Mark," Sophia's voice said, drunk, crying. "Please, you have to. I don't know who else to call. I'm at Murphy's bar on 6th Street. Can you come get me, please? I know I don't deserve it, but please." I held the phone away for a second and breathed. She was reaching for me the same way she always had, not as a partner but as a backup system, the person who does cleanup when the spark crashes. "Sophia," I said quietly. "Please, Mark. I'm so sorry. Everything is gone, everything I need. I can't do this, Mark, please." I hung up. Then I texted Ben. "If you are still in touch with Sophia's family, she is drunk at Murphy's bar on 6th Street. She needs someone to pick her up," I wrote. He replied, "Understood. Thanks for letting me know." I turned my phone off for the rest of the night. The next morning, there were 3 emails from Sophia. Long ones talking about childhood trauma, mistakes, how she understands loyalty now, how she sees what she lost, asking for one conversation. I read the first 2 sentences of the first email and deleted all 3. Her pain is real. I do not doubt that. Being left by your fiancé and your best friend on the same day is brutal, but her healing is not my job. She built her relationship rules on the idea that loyalty is transactional, that people are free agents until they sign a contract. The universe had simply shown her what that feels like from the other side. About 6 weeks later, I met someone. Her name is Clara. She is a landscape architect. She is kind, funny, and treats kindness like a default setting, not a bonus feature. We have been seeing each other for about a month. We are taking it slow. It feels solid. Then one rainy evening, Sophia showed up at my apartment. I heard the knock, checked the peephole, and saw her standing there, soaked. I opened the door but did not ask her in. "Hi," she said. "Hi, what do you need, Sophia?" I asked. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," she said. "I realize now that you were loyal without a ring, that I threw away something real for something shiny, that I made the biggest mistake of my life. I stayed quiet. "I see it now, Mark," she said. "I see what you were trying to build, and I destroyed it because I was so focused on contracts and leverage. I was wrong, I was so wrong." "I am sorry you are hurting," I said, and I meant it. Her face tightened. "That's it," she said. "After 3 years, that is all you have to say. What else do you want me to say?" I asked. "I want you to care," she said. "I want you to be angry or sad or something. I want you to let me in so we can actually talk about this. You owe me at least a conversation. We had 3 years. You can't just slam the door on that." There it was again. Oh, debt, contract language. "Actually," I said calmly, "by your own rules, I don't owe you anything. There was no ring. There were no vows. You taught me that means we were free agents. I chose to walk away, and I did. Good night, Sophia." I closed the door. Over the next week, she sent 2 more emails and 1 handwritten letter, each from a different angle: the wounded child, the therapy graduate, the remorseful ex. But none of them addressed the core issue. She still framed loyalty as something that should protect her, not something she should have practiced in the first place. I deleted the emails. I recycled the letter. Yesterday, I was at the nicer grocery store near Clara's place, buying ingredients for dinner. I was thinking about which wine to get when I heard my name. "Mark," I turned. Sophia was there with an empty basket. "Hi," I said. "I've been hoping I'd see you," she said. "Can we please just get coffee? 10 minutes, that's all I need." "I don't think that's a good idea," I said. "Please," she said. "I know what you must think, but I understand loyalty now. I think about it constantly, about what I had with you and how I destroyed it, about what loyalty actually means. Please, just 10 minutes. I looked at her for a moment. "I know what happened," I said. "I heard about the wedding." She looked down. "It was the worst day of my life," she said. "The ring didn't protect me. He gave me exactly what I said I needed, and then he left anyway, took my best friend, humiliated me in front of everyone." I could have said a lot. I could have thrown her old words back at her. Instead, I picked up the garlic I had been holding and put it into my cart. "I know," I said. "It is ironic, isn't it? I guess the ring didn't guarantee loyalty after all." I did not say it with anger, just as a fact. The conclusion of the test she had run on all of us, including herself. Her face crumpled. She heard it. "Take care of yourself, Sophia," I said. I pushed my cart past her and walked toward the wine aisle. I did not look back. That night at Clara's place, she asked why I was quiet. "I ran into my ex at the store," I said. "Oh," she said. "Was it awful?" "No," I said. "It was just closure." We made dinner, talked about her latest project, designing a meditation garden for a corporate campus, laughed about my attempt to cut the garlic the wrong way. Normal things. Good things. Later, lying in bed, I thought about everything. The 3 years with Sophia. The ring I bought and sold. The theory she believed. The way it came back around. I do not hate her. I do not wish her more pain. I hope she really does learn from this, though I suspect she may just find a new way to say the same ideas. Either way, it is not my story anymore. Loyalty is not something you activate with a ring. It is not a clause in a contract. It is the quiet choice you make every day when there is no guarantee and no audience. The ring only means something if that loyalty is already there. She wanted it backwards. She built her house on sand. Then the tide came in. I am building on solid ground now, slowly, with someone who already understands that loyalty comes first and symbolism comes later. For anyone wondering, last I heard, Liam and Chloe lasted about 2 months in Costa Rica before she got bored and moved on. The pattern is consistent. Here are some lessons from this story. Lesson 1. How someone defines loyalty matters. If they see it as a product you buy with a ring instead of a daily choice, you are not on the same team. Lesson 2. When a partner calls you stable and comfortable while chasing spark somewhere else, they are telling you they want 2 different lives at once, not a shared one. Lesson 3. You do not have to debate your values. If your core beliefs about commitment clash, walking away is not dramatic. It is self-respect. Lesson 4. Contracts, rings, and ceremonies do not create character. They only reveal what was already there. If loyalty is missing before the vows will not fix it. Lesson 5. You are not responsible for saving someone from the results of the rules they chose to live by. Their pain can be real without being your job to heal. Lesson 6. It is better to be alone in a small, quiet space built on your own values than in a big, loud life where your worth is treated like a negotiation. What about you? At what point in this story would you have decided to leave? And do you think loyalty should start before or after the ring? Share your thoughts in the comments.